Hey guys, Troy Dooley with the MLM News, and I tell you, I was sitting here doing some analysis and looking at the metrics from 2000 until 2010, and really 2001 to 2010, because that was the actual decade. And when you look at it, you think, wow, you know, what a kick-butt time for direct selling. I'm talking about in every part of the market. Not saying we didn't see some changes. I mean, when I go back over the decade, we watched World Marketing Alliance get sold to Aegon, and Hubert Humphrey kind of took a little bit of a retirement. Then he came out and he started World Leadership Group, and they were going strong until the end of 2007 when the market collapsed, when the real estate market collapsed. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, what a legacy. You know, makes you wonder what he's going to do in this decade. We look at companies like Primerica, who started off the decade as a subsidiary of Citigroup. Now we see Citigroup's stock, I think my stock over there is still under $4, but yet my Primerica stock's at 25 because last year on April 1st, they went public for the second time. They're an independent company. When I look at all this, I think, wow. I look at over here at Keller Williams and see where they have come. I mean, it's just an amazing deal when you look at the top tiers of this industry and what's been going on. It's been crazy, but let's get right down to what's going on right now. Sprint. You know, you guys have seen, we have covered the MLM direct selling wireless niche since its heyday in about 2008. And it's been crazy. You know, we've seen companies come and go. We've seen companies that have exciting stuff to happen and then it gets changed. And I tell you what, in the last couple of months, Sprint has decided they're narrowing their focus. I know Lightyear Wireless is still a Sprint provider. They're doing their thing over there, but Sprint moved away from Global Verge, and now it looks like that they've totally moved away from Zoom Mobile. Now, here's the fun part about this. Both of these companies have been prepared for stuff like this, so it was not a biggie. Zoom has gone over to the largest GSM network, and it's been fun to see this. Now, the niche is still a little bit of a Wild West. Okay, I do believe that there's companies like Lightyear. Let's look at Lightyear for a minute. You know, people have been talking about their financials. Lightyear Wireless is just a subsidiary or division of Lightyear Network Solutions, and Sherm Henderson over there is fulfilling a long-time dream. That company went public last year. They've started buying some mid-sized companies, and I think he's gonna create another giant telecom company. Whether they stay in direct selling or not, have no clue. But when you look at their agency network, you look at their resellers, they're going on pretty strong right now. Even their long-term debt, it looks like, has dropped tremendously. Part of that's probably because it was converted into equity. But let's just see where they go. It's going to be interesting there. Hey, there's something else that has really been going strong, and my buddy Lynn Clements talked about this. Barry Minlow. Now, a lot of people don't know him, and I hope I trashed his name because he's a real twit. But Barry is one of these guys that back in the 80s ran a Ponzi scheme. It was ZZZZ carpet cleaning is what it was. And I mean, he just raped people left and right. He got busted. He served 7 years in prison. He's come out, and in the last few years, he's been looking at publicly traded direct selling companies and other niches too. And he'll just start publicizing negative press, driving their stock down. And without getting into all the details, he's basically on the backside betting that the stock will go down, and he's raking in millions. Well, the good news is, and Lynn broke this story, he got busted big time down here in Florida. Thank goodness for Florida lawyers. But it says right here, Barry Minko, I think that's how you say his name, destroyed evidence and lied to the court in extortion of the Linner Corporation. Man, this is some big stuff. We're going to put the links over here, but Lynn Clements has been on this guy. Lynn is a great friend. He's with a couple of the good associations for distributors. He has a passion for this industry, second only to Rod Cook. I mean, these guys, they don't even agree all the time. They'll go head to head, but when it comes to two guys that love this profession, I'm not sure if I even come close. I mean, these guys have been mentors of mine for years. I'm glad he broke this story. You guys have got to read this because this guy's a scumbucket, and Lynn brought it out, and I'm glad that he did. We've got some other great stuff going on. Let's look at what we have because, man, this is just some rock-solid stuff. We're looking over here at Direct Selling News. I love these guys. They just put out a great report. January, it's out. I think it's even on the newsstands now. Not the newsstand, but if you're a company founder, CEO, officer, somebody like that, you can get this. But listen to this, Zurvita Holdings. Everybody heard of Zurvita down there in Texas. I love Texas companies. But here's the kicker. A few years ago, this company was struggling. Mark and his crew, man, they were busting it. They teamed up with a publicly traded company. They were doing their best to make it happen, but they were just running in the red. And people said, we don't think they're going to make it. Well, let me tell you something, man. They have kicked some butt. And after looking at this, I'm going to tell you right now, let me disclose this. After seeing what they're doing, one of my first investments in 2011 will be buying Zurvita's stock because I believe they've turned a corner. It's still a great bottom price. I think if you're a contrarian like I am in stocks, this is one that you can grab a hold of and hold. But listen to this. Zurvita announces revenues for the 12 months ending July 31st of 2010 of approximately $6.3 million. Not a huge company, okay? That's an increase of $3.5 million compared to revenues of $2.8 just 7 months earlier that ended in July of 2009. Man, when I looked at this, I thought, man, this is great. Listen to this. Gross profit for the fiscal year ending July 31st, 2010 was approximately $1.7 million compared to the gross profit approximately of $697 million for the short fiscal year of July 31st, 2009. And if you go back to 2008, they had over $1 million loss. For you naysayers over there at Lightyear, let me tell you something. Even though their financials suck right now, there's a good possibility they're going to turn a corner just like Zurvita did. Zurvita is really going, now they've made some hard decisions, and they cut out their consumer energy division, said, look, there's just no way to make any money, we're going to cut that out. You know, they've tightened their belt, and I'm proud of them. This is a small company, but they've got a fighting spirit. And I tell you what, you only kind of see this in Texas companies because these guys don't know how to quit. I mean, they really go down like the Alamo did. So my hat's off to what they did. Let's look at some other companies. Let's go to an East Coast company. Here's Blythe. Blythe's the parent company of Party Light and Visalis Science. And I've been watching Visalis, been taking their products. Can you see my chin? I don't have a double chin anymore. This is pretty good here. Listen to this, though. And this is good. This report here is just tweaked out a little bit. I want you to listen to this. Parent company of Party Light Gifts and Visalis Sciences reported net sales for the third quarter ending October 31st, 2010 declined approximately 3% to $215 million versus $221 million from the previous year. Now listen, this is the good part right here. Okay. Sales growth in Visalis Sciences and in the Midwest CBK business was more than offset the lower sales of Party Light. Listen, Visalis Sciences is kicking some butt right now. I've been watching these guys, been over here, you know, checking them out. They're young, they're courageous. You know, they don't. Nick is a prime example. He said, you know what, I'm not into the corporate scene. I don't want to give up my founder. I mean, I've helped found this company, but I'm going back out into the field. I want to really show people it can be done. This boy has been traveling the nation in 2010 doing some great stuff. I look at what they're doing over there, and I really, my hat's off to them. I'll tell you another thing, and we'll report on this next week, but weight loss right now, and not just in January, but weight loss starting in 2010 and going forward has been huge, and here's why. Every time the economy gets crazy, people look for ways that they can cut. Well, guess what? They cut their weight. They want to get healthy. They want to go out there and look for a new job. They need help. Now we're in the first of 2011. Guess what? Weight loss is like crazy. Everything I see on TV is an ad for weight loss. So things are moving forward in that aspect too, and I love that. Let's look at some other stuff going on. One of my favorite companies, another Texas company out of Austin, not my company, by the way, is Keller Williams. Keller Williams is really... they're the only real estate company that I know of that is a direct selling, multi-level type of company, and they are doing phenomenal. Listen to this. This is a down economy. The real estate bubble has burst. I know it. I live on an island. Okay, but listen to this. Keller Williams, this is January 4th, 2011. Keller Williams Realty announced today that the former managing director of top-ranked Prudential Douglas Elliman team out of Manhattan will take the helm of the new Keller Williams Manhattan office. I mean, this is big, guys. Prudential real estate is huge. They just had one of their top players that said, we're going to hang our hat over here at Keller Williams. Keller Williams was ready. Listen to this. This is great. It says, Keller Williams Realty has weathered many changes by focusing on mindset and perseverance, which is exactly how I've driven my business to success in these times. I just clicked with the team at Keller Williams Realty, and I knew it was the right move for us. The company believes as we do. Now, what I'm about to share with you is the secret to success in direct selling. I don't care if you're in the health and nutrition, weight loss, cosmetics, insurance, technology, or what. Here's the secret. This company believes as we do that you put people before business. We envision our office growing stronger and larger with the support team that Keller Williams provides. Man, this is phenomenal, guys. See, this is what it's about. It's about the people first, not the business. You put your teams first, the sky's the limit on where you're going to be able to take this. Last, before we shut out for today, because I know y'all got to get back to building your business. That's the name of the game here. Listen to this here. Primerica to host 5,000 reps at the large corporate event in Toronto. Now, this just came out January 6, 2011. Listen to this here. Here's what's so unique about this. When they were part of Citigroup, they had to stop doing conventions. They had to stop rewarding the field agents out there, the sweat and blood, the guys and gals on the streets that were building this business because of all the media hype and all that garbage. Well, now they're back at giving recognition and reward, and they hit Canada first. Listen to this. The largest independent financial service marketing company in Canada, Primerica, announced Saturday, January 8th, it will host 5,000 independent representatives in Metro Toronto. They expect to host 10,000 in 6 meetings across Canada just in this first quarter as they kick this thing off for their new year. I'm proud of that. This is a Duluth, Georgia company. It's where I got my start in direct selling. I own stock in this company. They are back at it, going stronger than ever over 30 years down the road. Folks, listen, man, find your company. If you're with it, that's great. If you're not with it, find one and get with it. These are some great companies that are out there. They're doing it what's right. This industry is poised to explode in 2011. Every niche I'm looking at, we're seeing growth right now. And that's the key. Live life like it's an epic adventure. I'll see you at the top. Be back here next week with us on the MLM News Report.